What's your name?
I'm Anna Fichter.
And where are you from?
So I'm from Indiana, and I studied graphic design at Purdue University before coming here. And I just heard about textiles shortly after that and was really interested just because it can be such an artistic expression.
Okay. What is it that you like about textiles?
So I feel like graphic design can be a little bit just like stale, and I feel like textiles are a more physical way to express creativity.
Okay. You were given a muse by Kevin, and what was it about Berard that was particularly inspirational to you?
So I feel like his whimsy.
Oh, do you want to
Yeah.
start over and say
Yes.
Christian Berard?
Oh, yeah.
Sure. Every time she asks you a question, repeat the
Oh,
question
okay.
and then answer it.
Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good. So what inspired me about Christian Berard was just his whimsy. I love his florals and especially his painterly style. And also his colors are just so vibrant. So I really tried to incorporate that into my work in sort of an abstract and new way. Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to talk about the pieces that you did, the full collection, and then
Yes.
the ones particularly that we selected?
Yes. So my collection started just focusing on, I chose to do tropical prints because I feel like that's something that is used in fashion as well as interiors a lot as a theme. And it's also a little bit new. So I started with that, started with very bright and vibrant colors and was told to keep developing and keep printing down. So then I eventually came to more monochromatic pieces and more abstract, pared back stripes and vines, which is what we've ended up with in the collection.
What makes those stripes unique?
So I feel like what makes the stripes unique is just the different sort of shapes that go along with them. Some of them are curvy, some are stripes on stripes. And they also have like a watercolor painterly feeling that feels like handmade a little bit.
If you were to say to any of the future students what you were trying to express specifically, and as maybe a through line, what would you want them to pick up on?
Yes. So what I was trying to express specifically with this collection was just like a new look with the old Christian Berard style, kind of transforming it into a more modern, a little bit more minimal style than what he did. So just a little bit pared back, but still having that fun, whimsical look.
Go into it. Okay. My name is Juliana Cabrera, and I grew up in California. But wait, can I start over? I don't know how to bring it in. Okay. Hi, my name is Juliana Cabrera, and I grew up in Southern California, but I have a lot of Colombian heritage, and I take a lot of inspiration from it. So.
Okay. How did you get into textiles? Because you have a long path.
I got into textiles after my last year of my AA because I did visual communications.
Real quick.
Yes.
And come this way. Everybody's glancing at her team. Basically the same behind you.
Okay.
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 Ask the question again.
Okay. How did you get into textiles?
I got into textiles my last year of my AA degree. I did visual communications as my AA, and I really liked the graphic side of it. And I wanted to do more like fashion-based things, and I figured the best like union was to do textile design.
Okay. So what inspired you from the original muse, Christian Berard?
What I really liked about Christian Berard was his like painterly style and his use of color. It was very like whimsical and like fun to look at, and I think I took a lot of inspiration from like the way he did his florals and painted his girls and stuff.
Okay. In particular, what did you bring in to the designs that you are using in Sharing Styles?
I took a lot of inspiration from his florals and the way he drew like his women, so I wanted to take that, like those motifs, and like put my own spin on it. So I put a lot of like florals. I did like painterly brush strokes to like paint like some women and like other things.
Okay.
You can answer that question again, but before you answer it, repeat the question.
Okay.
And this time you might suggest that you actually brought some of that Colombian flair with your women. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
What was the question again?
What did you bring? What did you bring to the inspiration that you got from Christian Berard?
Okay. So what I took, or like what I brought from Christian Berard and what inspired me was his florals, and I brought in my own take on his florals and his like painterly style. I also took a lot of inspiration from my Colombian heritage to draw the woman along with how Christian Berard did his style.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you were to pass on any particular feeling from what you were doing and that you would like people to recognize and understand about your textiles, what is it that you would like to lead forward with?
I hope that people take like.
Okay, I'm going to start over.
Good.
I would love for my team.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay. Wait.
Because you're going to be on a team.
Right.
Instead of people. What I would love is for my team to be inspired. ...
Oh, okay. Oh, because the other. Okay, got it.
You're
Okay.
talking to somebody that's going to use your fabric.
Oh, okay, got it. Sorry.
Okay.
So what I would like my team to take from from my collection is, it's whimsical art to it, and like take inspiration for their design to be like playful and not so like boring, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Anything else you want to add?
No.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Amy, you ready?
Yes, I am.
Oh, so what is your name?
My name is Amy Kraushaar. I am originally from Atlanta, Georgia, and now I live in Claremont, California.
And what brought you to textiles and FITM?
I ended up at FITM kind of through a circuitous route. I went to UCLA and have a degree in English, and then I went to the Claremont Graduate University, and I have an MBA. And I had a very long and successful career in marketing. But when my kids were in junior high, I really wanted to be home, so I stopped consulting and I stayed home with them. Then when they were all gone, it's time for my second part of my life, so I decided I was going to go to the Laguna School of Art and Design and get a master's in painting, because I had gone back to school and earned a painting and drawing studio art degree as well as an art history degree. So that was my final step. And then I heard about this textile program, and it just became to me, I thought, this could be the best thing ever. I could die happy if I found one of my designs or one piece of my artwork walking around in the world somewhere, or walking the bank and it's on the carpet, or just anywhere I might see it. That's my ultimate goal.
Okay, so what inspired you about Berard?
I love Christian Berard's artwork. As a painter, he has that kind of style. And when I looked at his work, it's the same kind of work that reminded me of when I was little and there were books of Madeline and Eloise that used the same style of art. And I wanted to live those girls' lives. I wanted to be precocious and live in their opulent houses and wear their darling clothes. So when I saw this art, I realized where it had come from, and just forgot my train of thought, so we'll give a minute to edit.
And so you wanted to be this girl living in this opulent life?
Right, and I just love his style of art, that he does what I call just the essentials, that when he paints a picture, he doesn't need to outline every single piece of it. We can fill that in ourselves. But where there's a curve and where you need some definition, that's where you'll find a line. And it's always in just the right spot, and it's just beautiful. I just love it.
And what in particular did you develop from his inspiration and for this collection?
Well, little did I know that he is really the base of so much that I love. I love Vogue magazine as I was growing up, and I love Christian Dior. He's my favorite. And little did I know that Christian Berard was one of the inspirations for all that went on there. So
So how about the perfume bottles?
Yes, and so I found out during all my research that he had worked with a woman named Nina Ricci who made perfume bottles. And she also did paint really things like Christian Berard did. But the perfume bottles, I have had a passion for those my entire life. I'm also a glass artist. And so to look at the cut crystal and to look at the shapes of all the bottles that just inspire me, I just love them. So from there, with the two of them merged together, I decided to work on perfume bottles and came up with some designs of my own and painted those in and put a little essential line around them, just like Christian Berard would.
Okay, and how about the bows?
Are there going to be bows in there?
Oh, there's the bow on the back of one of your bottles.
Oh, okay. I also love
the drapery.
So I was inspired a lot by his trompe-l'oeil style of painting. And so I first made some bows that were in that style. And then I looked at them and I just loved them how they were. I feel like those again go back to my girls, my Eloise and my Madeline, that this is for people who think that bows are absolutely essential. And they are. So for anyone who wants to work with that, that's an elegant kind of style that I love. And it's a little bit of frivolity, a little bit of curls and swirls. That's the kind of life that I try to live. And so these bows came about in order to bring that additional part in, an additional part to life. And so I put them on the perfume bottles to kind of match the two together. Oh, and I, along with his trompe-l'oeil, in the one largest bottle, I made some draping that came down so that you can actually see the folds in the woman's skirt, so that it doesn't look flat. It's meant to look a little more three-dimensional.
Okay, if you were to suggest moving forward to your team, what would you like to see carried forward from your textiles, from your inspiration?
What would I like to see carry forward? Is it, I want someone to get the inspiration. I want someone to get the feel of frivolity. I want someone to get the lightness and the airiness and the fun that goes along with it. I had a picture on one of my mood boards that showed a man in the 40s handing a bunch of flowers to a woman. And then I want this to come in, like all this style and everything I've talked about here, to come into a woman who would want that and what that would look like in 2021. So the picture I had to represent that was the same bunch of flowers, but it was on a woman's head. It was, instead of her face, and she was kind of in a funky little a pose. That's what I want. I want everything that came with what Christian Berard did and what I've tried to capture of his, and let's put it into 2021. And let's make it exciting and something that no one has seen before, yet using these familiar things that make you just feel really good.
Okay, what is your... Hey, what is your name?
Hi, my name is Elizabeth Ewing.
Where are you from?
I'm just getting nervous.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Ewing, and I am from...
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Ewing, and I'm from Orange County, California, which is where I got my start on the FITM Orange County campus, which drove me to play with fun colors in these designs.
Okay, what brought you to textiles?
Textiles was a interesting path that okay, cut that. I started off my FITM journey as a visual communications student, which led me to graphic design and picking up very graphic style of artwork. And textiles was something that I'd always wanted to dabble with because of the fun colors, placement, and really seeing a tangible last product.
Okay, and what was it about Christian Berard that you were inspired by?
I was very inspired by Christian Berard's heavy brushstrokes, fun colors, and fun movement within the pieces, and I brought in my own graphic design influence and pops of color to make it more of a modern take.
Pops of color? Lots of color.
Lots of color.
Lots of color. Okay, so what is it that you are sending off to your team? What is it that, the spirit of what you did that you want your team to pick up on?
When I created this fabric, I was really focused on empowering women and women of today. When you look back at the pieces that I were inspired by, like Picasso and Berard, you saw a classy woman that was something beautiful to look at, and I wanted my artwork to really play off the modern woman who's a lot more going on than what's on the outside. I brought lots of colors of pink to really show this intense feminine design that really drives who I am as a person, and I hope that whoever picks up the fabric really analyzes the fun modern take that I've put on this with really graphic influences and heavy brush strokes, a lot of contrasted color, and makes a modern silhouette.
What is your name and where are you from?
My name's Sasha Swedlin, and I'm from North Bay.
North Bay, California?
Oh, sorry.
Okay, so whatever.
My name is Sasha Swedlin, and I'm from the North Bay in California.
Okay, and what brought you to textile design?
What brought me to textile design is actually using the painting background that I have. I did my undergrad in fine art and painting, and I wanted to find a way to incorporate that into a different medium and to have my paintings come to life and be pieces of artwork that could be worn.
Okay, and what is it that inspired you by this muse, Christian Berard?
What inspired me by Christian Berard in
Okay.
Sorry, I did not have enough caffeine today. What inspired me in Christian Berard's work is his brushwork, his lines, his color use, and just really showing his hand. I wanted to incorporate that into my pieces.
Okay, what is it specifically what did you do with that? In other words, how did you get to the gemstone?
So Christian Berard was a French artist that was really prominent in the 1920s, and he hung around a lot of socialites and other artists. And I wanted to capture the luxury and the socialite aspect of his lifestyle and the celebrities he was around. And that inspired me to focus on doing gemstones and luxury jewels, diamonds, and other things that celebrities, artists, creatives would be wearing at that time.
And how did you create those?
So
How did you bring those two together, the painting style and the gemstones?
So the paintings that Christian Berard made were showed a lot of hand and gesture and technique. And the theme I wanted to use were the gemstones. And I decided to create these very photorealistic paintings of the gemstones and also create a trompe l'oeil effect where the diamonds that would look like they were realistic sitting on the fabric could be placement printed as well as in all over prints.
Okay, and talking to the people that are gonna take your fabric and use it, what would you like them to be inspired by? What would you like them to carry on?
So for the people who are going to be using my prints for their work,
The students?
sorry. So the students who will be using my prints for their work, I'd like to be inspired with luxury in mind and royalty, sophistication, and having it really feel nice and of quality, as well as a little bit fun and creative. I don't know.
Okay, can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
Like, you have taken those gemstones and you've made them big, so you've made it really modern.
Yeah.
And so you've got that painterly, luxe, modern, and
Okay. How am I
Okay.
going to word that? For the students that are going to be using my work and my prints, I want them to think of luxury as well as having that be used in a modern way, because the sizing is going to be a little bit different. Some of the scale is going to be larger. It's luxury but remade in a more contemporary way.
perfect. Are you happy? Do you want to say anything else?
I don't know. What am I supposed to say something more?
No,
Oh.
I'm just giving you the opportunity to say something else, if you want. Nobody else did, so, but I still told everybody else they could.
Oh, I feel like I shouldn't. I don't know what to say.
Okay, all right, that's good.
Part back to me.
Okay.
Okay, so why don't you start off with your name, where you're from, and maybe a little snippet about why you're so special.
Okay, hi, my name's Evelyn. I'm from the San Fernando Valley in Silver Lake now, fancy. Yeah, so a little bit about me. I've always been artsy. Art's always been my like go-to. It's how I express myself and how I'm able to like just get rid of all that like frustration and stress. It just goes into art and then something beautiful happens.
So how did you get into the textile program? What led you here? Why are you passionate about this?
Funny story. So when I first applied at FITM, I was actually applying to be a fashion designer. I know it's like, what? She's in the wrong. I know. But fashion design was kind of like what got me here. And I'm kind of thankful for that, because when I showed my portfolio and my sketchbook to the application people, they actually guided me towards textiles, saying, your portfolio looks very much more textile oriented than it does fashion. And I'm like, oh, what's textile? And so they kind of like gave me a whole backstory and then showed me some textile pieces, and I was like, oh, like that looks more fun. I didn't say that, but it just looks more fun, and I feel like that's more me. Yeah.
So when you think of Christian Berard and your take on it, what you put into like the combination, the mix of what you saw on Kevin's inspiration board, like how did you translate that into your patterns?
Well, okay, so when I first saw the mood boards and everything for Sharing Styles, I was kind of like nervous and like kind of like didn't know what to expect, because it was like all brand new, and like I was like so nervous because like I've been wanting to do debut for so long, since I was like little, and just getting the opportunity kind of like freaked me out. So when I was there, I was like, oh, like now that I'm here, what am I gonna do? Because there was so much that I wanted to do and didn't know what to do at the same time. So I think working at a high-end vintage store, being there and being surrounded by all these like Christian Berard kind of pieces, similar pieces, kind of like gave me more insight and like kind of more, it was more like inspiration, I guess you could say. And so I was looking at some other scarves and like other jackets and shirts and other pieces that kind of influenced it some more. So for example, like Nicole Miller, one of her scarves kind of stood out to me, and I kind of used some like that style and like how graphic her pieces were in my pieces, because that just helped me find my Christian Berard.
What is it about Christian Berard that inspired you specifically? What from him inspired you?
The thing that inspired me the most about Christian Berard is that when he does his work and his art pieces and everything, like the ombres and the colors he uses, I think they're just beautiful. And also, when you look closer at his work, the art style, like the brush strokes and how flowy some stuff is, and also using like simple lines, it all comes together beautifully.
Well, what do you want to say to the fashion design students
And chair students.
that are using your fabric, and like give them some little tips on how you want them to execute it? What's your vision?
Well, I guess my vision is just something beautiful. I don't really have anything specific in mind. I trust you guys. I feel like we're gonna like kind of go through this together.
Can you start the question again and say my vision for?
Oh, sorry.
What should you say, Ann?
My vision for my team.
Okay.
Team. There you go.
Skirt. Okay. My vision for, can I redo that? The vision for my team is just creating something beautiful, because I don't really have a specific, because I trust you guys. I feel like whatever we create is going to be amazing, and yeah, just have fun with it, and I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, so you picked a lot of accessories. Do you want to talk for just a minute about why you picked accessories as your inspiration?
Yep. Okay, so for my prints, I picked a lot of accessories and jewelry pieces and like some girly stuff, like lipsticks and fun stuff. So I kind of picked that because to me, Christian Berard has that very specific style, and I try to use that. And what I got from that was some like vintage inspired lipsticks and vintage inspired earrings, because the way I have them or designed them, drew them, painted them, tend to be very graphic, and you can see the subtle shadows and highlights of the pieces, and it's just, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
That's it?
Oh.
Simple.
Yay. Okay.
Thank you.